Hello, algebra. How's it going? My algebra crew. I shouldn't just call you algebra. Algebra crew, how's it going? Okay. We are starting Unit 2. Unit 2 involves solving equations and inequalities. So the first couple days are going to be review, just kind of get you back into just solving for x, solving for a single variable with some properties. So we're going to do really short. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 7 linear equations today for our first lesson, and then tomorrow you're going to do Desmos. So it's a Desmos activity. So did I say that right? Yes. Yeah, Desmos tomorrow. So not a real heavy couple days here before your 4-day weekend, but just to kind of start getting you thinking about equation solving, and then we're going to go from there into inequalities. We also have some word problems in throughout here as well. So you're going to have 5 standards. So at your leisure, you can look to see those standards underneath all these on the second page. It tells you exactly what you'll be learning. Okay. So lesson 1, solving linear equations. So like I said, as I promised, you've got 7 equations. All right. So now our warm-up says when solving a linear equation, there are 3 possible outcomes. So remember when you go to solve for equations, you get the variables to one side and the constants to the other. So right now I've got a 4y on this right side, and I'm going to do the opposite. So the opposite of plus 4y is minus 4y. And whatever I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other, because I really want to get it over to the other side with that positive 11 anyway. And that 4y minus 4y cancels out. So I'm left with a negative 8. 13 here. And then 11 minus 4y is 7y. Okay. So I got all the y's to the left side. Now I'm going to get the constants to the other. So I got to move this 13. So I'm going to do the opposite. The opposite of positive 13 is negative 13. And I'm going to combine it with that negative 8. Let's go away. Negative 8 minus 13 is negative 21. And then for the grand finale, to solve for y, right now 7 and y are being multiplied. So when they're butt up against each other like that, that means multiplication. So to undo multiplication, we do division. Okay, so we're undoing whatever the operation is. And when I do negative 21 divided by 7, I get negative 3. And if you wanted to go back in and check, you could make all the y's in the original problem negative 3. And the left side and the right side would equal. Okay, so let's do these other 2. And then we'll talk about the possible outcomes. Let me just do these 3 and then we'll talk about stuff. Okay, now with the second problem, I see on the left side of the equal sign, I see a 6x and a negative 8x. See those? So I'm going to put them together. So 6 minus 8 is negative 2x plus 4. Okay. Now, just like I said in the last one, you're going to get the x's to one side. So this is a negative 2x on the left. I'm going to add 2x to bring it to the right. Now, what you're going to notice, I'm going to bring the 4 down and the 6 because I haven't changed them yet. And what I notice is negative 2 plus 2 equals 0. So they actually cancel out. So there's no x value here. Okay? There's no x value, it's gone. Now it's just 4 equals 6, okay? Hold on to that thought. I want to show you this one, and then we'll come back to this equation we just finished, okay? Let me show you what happens here. So the x's go away. Okay, and this one. So I've got 2x plus 2 plus 5, and I just jumped into it, and I apologize I didn't say it. You have to do the distributive property to get rid of the parentheses, okay? So, and you have to distribute to the x and the positive positive 1. So 2's got to go to everything. Once I distribute, I drop the parentheses. Then I'm going to combine like terms. So I've got a 2 and a 5 here. End up to be 7. Now I got 2x plus 7 equals 2x plus 7. So as you start to do it, and you're like, okay, I got to get the x's together. So I'm going to move this x. I'm going to move the 1 to the right over to the left. So I'm going to do the opposite. And I got, look at that, they cancel out on both sides. So then I got 7 equals 7. So, all right, so let's talk about what this originally said. It says in the warm-up, it says when solving a linear equation, there are 3 possible outcomes. The first outcome is what we call one solution, right? Because there's a y equals -3. So there's one real solution. The second and the third, so they're different. The x's cancel out, but in this middle one, we have to say there's no solutions because the x on the left side and the right side, they really don't equal each other. Like 4 does not equal 6. So I have no x value that could ever make them equal. This one, the last one where it says 7 equals 7, if you came up here and looked at this original piece, see this right here? 2x plus 7 equals 2x plus 7. That's what we call an identity, which means that it actually includes all real values or solutions. So that's called an identity. It means that I could have put in, as long as when I cancel, the x's cancel out and these equal each other, like the constants equal each other, that means that it's any x value can go into that original problem, and the left side will always equal the right side, okay? All real values are identity. Okay, so you might see them in here, you might not. Let's go through these. Let's do our pretty fall color. Okay, so for number 1, we're going to first distribute the -3. And I've got -9x minus 12 equals 6. And remember what I said next? I want you to combine like terms. So I got a 15x and a -9x is going to be a 6x minus 12 equals 6. X's are all put together. I got to move that -12 to the other side. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is to add 12. And I get 6x equals 18. And then I'm going to divide by 6. And x equals 3. So that is my solution. Okay? Now, how about 2? Oh boy, there's a fraction. No biggie. Not a big deal. Okay? With the fraction, what I want you to do is I want you to use that fraction button on your calculator that we talked about. So you're going to look for that, the symbol where that it's the little box. How about I just get my calculator? How about that? Hold on. I don't know why I'm trying to explain it. I should just tell you where it is on here. Okay. So it is above, I don't know if I can show you this. It's above the division sign, right? Above the division sign, you'll see a little blue symbol, right? So you're going to do that, hit the control, and then the division sign, and it'll pop up as a fraction, okay? So you're going to put 3/5 in there. Now, obviously, you can't do 3/5 times x because you can't do a variable in your calculator. But I can do 3/5, and I can multiply it by 2. And you're going to get 6/5. Okay? Now, they're just numbers. That's all they are, is those fractions. So don't stress over them. You're still going to do the same processes. You're going to minus the x to get this to the other side. So you're literally going to do 3/5 minus, remember there's a 1 there. When I do 3/5 minus 1, I get -2/5 x. Okay, when I bring the 6/5 to the other side, by subtracting, because it's a positive 6/5, I'm going to minus it. I get -4 minus 6/5, again in your calculator, and I got -26/5, okay? And again, let me bring this up to the side so that you can see this. So I'm gonna copy this. So I got -2/5 x equals -26/5, okay? So what I see next is I see a number times x equals another number. So I'm going to divide by -2/5. And whatever I do this side, I do to the other side. Now, again, just pop this in your calculator. So it's going to be take a little practice. So you're going to do a fraction, and then you're going to hit divide by, and then you're going to type in another fraction, and you're going to hit enter. And it's actually going to be a pretty number of 13. Okay, so you really need to practice putting this in your calculator. Like that whole thing right there needs to go in your calculator, because you need to get that practice in. Once you figure out how to pop them in your calculator, you'll be fine. Let's do green. Okay, so for 3, oh boy, I have a fraction. No big deal, none at all. It is divide by 2, right? So that 8x plus 2 divided by 2. The opposite of dividing by 2 is multiplying. So multiply this side by 2, and then whatever I do to one side, I just have to do it to the other. So when I multiply this side by 2, those 2's cancel out. And then I'm going to distribute to this side, right? And I see something. I see they both have 8x. So when I go to subtract this 8x, I got 2 equals -2. And that, because they don't match, is a no solution. Remember up above, that middle one? Okay, last one. This is it for today. I've got an a plus 1, so there's nothing I can do on that left side. But on the right side, I got an 8 minus parentheses 9 minus a. So I see a negative. I'm going to distribute that negative just like we did with polynomials the last unit. You're just going to literally flip the sign. So then positive 9 becomes a -9. The negative a becomes a positive a, right? And then I'm going to combine like terms. So I got an 8 minus 9 is -1. I'm going to move this a, the right a to the left, which again, look what happens. Those a's cancel out, and then I got 1 equals -1, and because these don't match, I got another no solution. Okay, if they match, then it would be all reals. Okay, that's it. That's your lesson. Short and sweet today. Oops, sorry. Moving my computer around, you're missing my picture. Make sure that you do the homework in the homework packet. That's the lesson 1 homework. Okay, and again, tomorrow you're going to do your Desmos, and that's it. That's your week. Okay, just to kind of get you started, we'll do some harder ones next week. In class, we'll be doing them. So I will talk to you then. Have a good day. Bye.